We're back again with another ink, and this time it is another Herbin Lie De Thé is the ink that we're working with today. I figured that I'd just go through all the Herbin inks in one go, and this one I'm pretty pleased about so far. I'm liking the color, so now I'm ready to do the nib size comparisons, and we're going to start off with the extra fine again. So far I've done all of this previous writing with a medium nib, and yeah, let's get this extra fine going. So far, I don't think this is the nib that I'm gonna go with. I just haven't really found an ink that honestly I like with the extra fine Lamy nib. It could be that I'm just not an extra fine type of girl. The fine is okay, and I really enjoy the medium and the broad in general. Let's try the fine nib here. This is nicer. I actually quite like that. Not bad. Next up is the medium. I definitely feel like this is my go-to nib when it comes to the Lamy Safari. Just in general, I find that I like this nib width, or the line width, and I find that it works quite well with a large variety of inks. I also have a broad here that I'm going to try out. That's nice. Definitely wetter. Okay, and the last nib that we have is my 1.1 stub. I always have a tricky time getting it to start well. Again, I think this one is just a bit too dry for me. I think we're noticing that there's a theme there, that the 1.1 and the extra fine are both on the drier side. So I, again, won't go with the extra fine or the 1.1 stub. But right now, I think I'll stick with, well, should I try out the fine again? Give it another try. I do like the medium though. I think I'm gonna go back with the medium. It's tried and true. And then I'll just write down that this one's a no-go. This one is great. This one's good. This one I liked well enough. This one, no. Okay. I will be back with my final thoughts on this ink and pen combo. So I have definitely been enjoying Herbin Lie De Thé. I started out with the medium nib and kept writing with it until here is where I started with the broad nib. And I think I prefer the broad nib, at least right now. The medium worked just fine, but I definitely enjoyed the amount of shading that I could get from the broad nib. So I've got several pages of copy work that I ended up doing. Yeah, I really quite enjoyed the color. I enjoyed the shading. It was flowing really nicely. No need to prime the feed whatsoever. And this is a lot of writing, like, for it to not dry out in that amount of time, I'm pretty impressed with that. I feel like maybe Herbin inks like this pen, that they pair well with the Lamy Safari, whatever the, I don't know, properties in the ink work with the feed or something, but yeah, I'm really impressed with that. And that's something that I've been looking out for, because I've had a lot of experiences recently with pen and ink combinations that are just, they keep drying up. Like, I might get maybe half a page in and it will start just fading out. But I did not have that whatsoever here. And here's my overall rating for, well, my ratings and reviews for this ink, Lie De Thé. I gave it an overall rating of 9.5 out of 10. I really did enjoy this ink. I wrote down that my only gripe is that this ink does not feel very lubricated. So there was quite a lot of feedback, and that makes it sound like a drier ink, But again, the flow was fantastic for that I didn't have to prime the feed. I gave this a color rating of 10 out of 10 because I really did enjoy this color. This was a lot better than the Cacao do Brazil that I did yesterday. And readability I thought was great. I never had a problem with it drying out and lightening up so that it was too hard to read back. I did give this a flow scale, like on the flow scale, I would say that it was pretty average, but maybe on the drier side of average. So yeah, I definitely preferred the broad nib, which is why I've got a little heart there. The medium nib was just fine, but in this case I switched to the broad nib, and I thought that was really quite an enjoyable experience. Would I repurchase this ink? I think quite possibly I would. I don't know that I would get a full bottle, but I might get another sample again. And yeah, this was a really nice writing experience, especially compared to yesterday. So happy for that. I love getting the close-ups of this shading. It was gorgeous. Very lovely.